What's up, everybody? You tuned in to another episode of Strategic Moves. I'm your host, Ken Dow. This is a place where I bring art, culture, politics, and business all together, and I do it every Sunday right here on this channel. And today, I got a guest that's coming in. He's one of Cleveland's own resident comedian. He's going to come in here today, and we're going to talk a little bit about art. We're going to talk about the culture. We're going to talk about Cleveland a little bit and what's going on and things that's happening around town, and you will get a chance to meet him. If you don't know who he is, check out this little snippet that we got for you.
Hey, Snack.
The first one you did 1 million in 4 days. Man, where the other one at, man? Okay, stop playing.
So you still live in Cleveland, huh? You was cruising past Newburgh, ain't see them cops in them trees, huh? Still waiting on the Browns to win, huh? You gon' call them Guardians, Indians, no matter who you offend, huh? You got jumped at the court trying to ball, huh? You can tell where I'm at just by looking at these walls, huh? You was at the club and seen Drew, huh? That roundabout in the steel yard got your ass confused, huh? Showway speed limit too slow, huh? By the time they fly your street, and there ain't even no snow, huh? You think Edgewater nasty, huh? So you went to Euclid and Menor Beach trying to be fancy, huh? Called the cops, they came the next day, huh? Used to be around dead man's, now your ass in the grave, huh? Constructions everywhere you drove, huh? When they ask where you at, you say you passing any road, huh?
So everybody in the studio, I want to give a warm welcome to Mr. Heybert Flex to our program. Thank you. Mr. Flex is in the house. Mr. Flex, hey man, I want to thank you for coming on our program today,
Thank you
man.
for having me.
Man.
The setup here is amazing. Honestly, wasn't really even expecting all this to look like all this. This is nice right here, and it's a nice wooden table. You wiped it off. You know what I'm saying? And it's an honor for me to put my fingerprints back on this thing. Ruin it.
Oh no, man! You know what? We should make it a thing if it wouldn't be so nasty. That all the people who touch it be like, "Hey, man, this table, I never cleaned it." You'd be like, "Yeah," then you wouldn't want to touch it.
That sounds terrible.
You know what I'm saying? So now you appreciate that nice clean. I was trying to scrub it off for you because I wanted it to look real nice for you.
Oh, it looks amazing. It's immaculate. I love tables. Like I said, I think earlier, I used to scratch my name in my mom's furniture.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I remember my auntie, she had a red leather couch.
Really?
Oh, I took a pencil to that thing.
A red leather.
Oh, I put, and then it's so stupid. I put my name in it.
So they knew exactly.
Yeah. Who could this be? It wasn't me.
So we're going to talk a little bit, brother, about our program. We go through this thing because I tell everybody, Cleveland got this thing that everybody want to know. Where you from? Are you from here? What neighborhood you from? When you from Ohio, even Cleveland, they be like, where you from? It's not like I'm from Cleveland Heights. They be like, what neighborhood?
Yeah.
Hey, where you grow up at? You from Cleveland? You?
Born, the front part of my life is all in New Jersey.
Okay.
For a second, I lived in Left Rack, Queens.
Left Rack, Queens?
Yes.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, it's you know what I'm saying? It's Left Rack City. You go there, they know exactly what you're talking about. But
that's in New York?
Yeah, that's in New York.
Okay.
And it's like my earliest memories in my life, if I can my first memory, I think when they would say you crossed over, like when I first started recording, is in those buildings riding a bike with training wheels. And I can remember the smell. It smelled like pee and homeless. It's a distinct New York building smell.
Really?
I just can go right back to there. And then from there, Piscataway, New Jersey, I was raised there with my grandma and my grandfather and a bunch of the rest of my family. And then my mom decided that being safe wasn't necessary anymore and decided to move us from... And to this point, I never knew who my mom really was.
I understand. Okay.
This was like, she was somebody I spoke to on the phone every now and then. I'm just like, who? I'm going where?
Wait, who?
Whatever.
You're right. So how old was you when this was?
So I was about 9.
About 9? Okay.
Yeah. It's like, from there, I'm like, we lived in what we seem as like the Pepper Pike here.
Okay.
So we keep in mind, I've never been called a nigga before in my life. I've never heard the word.
Okay.
Okay, like my
the way my grandma raised us and stuff like that, it was just like, and then now the way I see it, I was probably ignorant to a lot of things because I was little.
Right.
But it was always chew with your mouth closed.
Yeah.
Had a forks and knife set up right there. I always tell people I got my etiquette from the Garden State. This is where I knew, give a girl flowers and all that other stuff. Okay. So, and essentially the Pepper Pike of New Jersey.
Okay.
Immediately, Ida Rose, St. Clair.
Ooh.
Like, immediate culture change.
Say Ida Rose, St. Clair.
Immediately. I'm like, what's going on here?
Now,
Come on, kids, let's go.
Hold on. What do you think these little
What
bad
are
kids
you
going?
talking about? My
You know
kids
your
ain't stole
you
nothing.
stay in the project. What's this? What's this? You talking about your kids?
He ain't no better.
Yeah, he did, man. What you got, man? Get out of here, man. What you talking about? What you got? It's my boy. You was trying to take my boy, man. What you got over here, bro?
He only 2 years old. He ain't no better.
Bro. Go ahead, man. Go on get it, bro. What's up with you? You really grown, man. I'm really patting you down, bro. What you got?
Okay, now, you doing too much. There ain't nobody gotta steal from you. Ain't nobody gotta steal from you. He thought that was mine.
How you gonna think that's yours, bro? What is you doing, bro?
Okay, let's
You
go.
was gonna get my whip? You was gonna take my whip? Man, get out of here, man.
Let's go. He be doing too much every time we come over here. Hold on.
I remember the penny candy store.
okay.
And I remember the icy lady.
So that was back a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
It was like,
okay.
I know on Ida Rose, we was getting them for 25 cents.
Oh yeah, so that was.
But
back
when
in
we
the
went
day,
to the
so-
valley, when we stayed in the valley, man, the lady was whacking 50 cents for the little icy cup. Man, she was taxing. How hard it was getting 50 cents.
Oh yeah.
At that age, for
Right.
me, like at the same time, like I said, it was a penny candy store around and stuff. You get a lot for that dollar.
Exactly.
So
And you know,
every year that was.
And you know, people take that for granted too, because I remember, I'll go back a little further. I remember the bus fare was like 20 cents. And we used to have, and I used to play Little League baseball in a neighborhood where we needed to catch the bus to it. And I remember it was hard trying to get 20 cents to catch the damn bus, man.
That's hard, man.
And so I know, like you said, 50 cent, like and we look at it now, like, and our kids and everybody be like, that ain't nothing, man. It's 50 cent in your cup holder, right? But think about it, like you say, it was hard getting 50 cent back then.
Man, when you do your chores and they give you allowance and change, but I'm happy with this. It's some nickels. It's all silver. Oh, this is about to last me. You know what I'm saying? And then you go out, you buy candy and stuff. You go get in trouble. Get put on punishment. You come back outside tomorrow. Do it again.
Exactly.
Hustle for that 50 cent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right, that's all it was.
Yeah, you just gotta hustle just so I can get something from the penny candy or the icy lady.
I hear soul music playing. Oh, that's mommy. Clean the house, everybody clean the house. Clean the house, everybody clean the house. Hey, clean the house, everybody clean the house. Whoa, clean the house, everybody clean the house. Why? 'Cause mom outside, everybody mom outside. Hey, mom outside, everybody mom outside. Whoa, mom outside, everybody mom outside. Whoa, mom outside, everybody mom outside. See, clean the house for mama come in here and beat us down. Leave no traces, 'cause you know she gon' be snooping around. Everything got a place, you know she OCD. All them dishes gotta go, get them bleachy clean. Nice and neat, no half-ass and everything complete. Dump the trash and take all the cans to the street. Hey, my mans, do your part, or I'm telling mommy. Hustle up, if we don't finish, it's gon' be a homie. OMG, I forgot she said the thought of me. You hear that? I think she at the door, I hear the key. Sweep the carpet and the floor, you know the vacuum broke. That's enough if you ain't finished, bro, your ass is toast. I heard, put everything up, act normal, she at the door. Stay on, all right, just breathe, just stare, look normal. Clean the house, everybody clean the house. Let's go. Clean the house, everybody clean the house. Clean the house, everybody clean the house. Whoa, clean the house, everybody clean the house. Why? 'Cause mom outside, everybody mom outside. Go. Mom outside, everybody mom outside. Go. Mom outside, everybody mom outside. Gosh, oh my outside, everybody mom outside. Whoa.
And that's where like my Cleveland experience started.
Now, what's the Cleveland experience?
When I say the Cleveland experience, okay, I come from New Jersey, Piscataway, New Jersey. Like some parts of that place don't even have sidewalks.
Okay.
Yeah. Mailbox on the front lawn. I come from that to now I'm in Cleveland. So let's put me in the mindset of coming on 131st, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never, like I said, I've never really been called a nigga. I never heard that. I've never been insulted. I mean, the only thing I've ever did was play with my cousins and stuff like that and go to school out there, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, whatever, from that to first, second, third grade. So I'm here. I got my Pokemon cards. It's after school. I ain't got no friends. I don't know nobody. It's after school. And keep in mind, we came over here on Ida Rose and went to the Valley. Now I'm over here on Corlett. And now I'm really about to go to school. I ain't got no friends. Boy come up to me, hey, you got some Pokemon cards? I'm like, yeah. I'm about to make a friend.
All right.
I bring out my Pokemon cards. I'm showing him. I'm looking down, looking at these cards. He smacked the cards out my hand. All the kids, as if you threw breadcrumbs downtown by the hot dog man. All the birds just, I have, if you know anything about Pokemon cards, I had like Nidoran and some Power Energy cards left. I had nothing.
Wow.
I had nothing. Equivalent to if somebody took a deck of cards, a normal deck of cards, you was stuck with just the Joker and some of them other cards that got instructions.
Right.
I'm pretty much left with that.
Wow.
I never understood the process of getting robbed, getting played, getting bamboozled, hoodwinked. That never was real to me.
Right.
I've never seen it. I've like, oh my God. So that started the Cleveland experience of, oh, this is real life here. And then walking home that day, I'm watching this dude get stumped out by the Boys and Girls Club.
Wow.
And I'm just like, oh. And it almost went to me in my head. Okay, prey, predator. I'm seeing this a bunch of predators right here around me right now.
That's correct.
I better learn how to adapt very quickly.
So let's talk about that. How do you adapt?
I think I adapted the right and wrong way. For me, I just dove into it. I immediately started, okay, since somebody got me, I'm about to get somebody else back now. You know what I'm saying? First, I got to protect myself to make sure it don't happen because somebody ended up coming to ask me for my Pokemon cards again to see if I had some.
So they ain't getting them.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, sure. But this time, I gripped him. I was going through him. When he slapped it, only card came out was the cards that I got back from when the last one dropped.
So you mean somebody actually came back and tried to do it again?
Do it again. You know what I'm saying? And this is like weeks. It was weeks apart.
All right.
But at this point in time, I had went on a whole campaign because in some of the lockers in there, it was like an entrance this way and an exit that way. It was all connected, but inside was where we had the book bags and everything.
Right.
So when we would go on lunch breaks or they would go to bathroom breaks, I would come back and I would go through everybody book bag.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, I got me some new Pokemon cards. I got a mechanical pencil that you can reload. I got all that.
You went straight criminal minded.
I went straight criminal. I dove straight into him like, okay, this is what y'all doing. This is how everybody's getting around. Got it.
Wow.
I'm about to start doing the same things that y'all doing. This is a terrible thing to do.
And I understand that, and it's terrible, but that's what you did.
That's what I felt I needed.
You felt that you needed to do
because, and I felt justified. It almost became funny watching other people go through it because I'm like, I felt it, so it was no empathy. It was to me, it was like your turn. So I felt like at one point everybody is going to be that guy who is getting stumped out.
Wow.
Everybody's going to have to be me at some point in time. Is this some kind of initiation? I don't know. But I see now what I had to do. Because by the time I got back to New Jersey, I might as well have been a felon.
Totally different person.
At that point, by the time I went back there for some vacation,
different dude.
Oh, I was completely different. Little round was gone.
Little round gone.
No, this over with. This over with. I'm fighting. I'm learning how to fight real good. I'm stealing. I'm lying. I'm manipulating.
Wow.
I think I'm slick.
You call that Cleveland experience.
And that to me was the Cleveland experience. It might just be the urban black neighborhood experience. But for me,
do we call it Cleveland urban neighborhood experience? I must say
that was the Cleveland. That was my first welcome to the land, baby.
Man, this was crazy.
Hey, man, y'all know what's on the
About 15
About
minutes.
15, 20.
I'm 15, 20.
And you know it's cold outside. The bus always runs
It's
slow.
always cold in Cleveland, man. You already know how they go. But I mean, everything.
Don't squirt me no more, bro. Don't squirt me no more, bro.
But you can't get the double chip.
Hey, man.
You ain't getting my double chip, bro.
The chicken, man.
Take these job applications since you need a job. You know what? They need y'all, so.
Yeah, how about that, man? You a raw ass nigga. You know that?
Yeah,
I'm a
nigga,
raw ass
fuck.
nigga,
Nigga,
man.
you
So
sweet.
that's one, two. Stop playing! Stop playing with me! Stop!
They got him. They got him. Why?
Because if you check out the way our communities are and our neighborhoods are, that mentality is what festered over years after years that kind of gave us the neighborhoods that we have today. So I totally get it. So let's move on. So that was rough, what, middle school?
That was elementary.
That was rough elementary.
That was elementary. It only went down from there.
Jeez, let's jump into high school, man. How was high
Man,
school? Where you go to high school?
I graduated from Shaker.
Oh, so you bounced out of the hood. You made it up to Shaker.
No, it ain't what you think. It's not what you
know?
think. It's not what you think, because I was over on 131st, and then we was in a shelter.
Oh.
So we went from that shelter to another shelter that was up Kinsman on the 40s. And from there, I started going to, I think it was Menlo. They had me going to some Shaker school. I really wasn't supposed to.
Okay.
But they had me going to a whole nother school system and dealing with that. So I was still on Kinsman, dealing with all that. However, Section 8. What did they just open up Section 8 in all the heights? So really, even though it was like, oh, you was in Shaker, but since they opened up so many Section 8 houses, who, at that point in time, Shaker was full of what? People from Miles, 3rd. That's all it was.
Got you.
So it had got real bad. So it wasn't hard for me to find.
Trouble up there.
It wasn't hard.
So how was your student in high school, though?
I was a terrible student ever since the 4th grade.
Really?
Yeah,
What
4th
did you
grade,
like about school?
I didn't like nothing about school.
No?
I liked it meeting people.
What
but
did-
I was
what-
an introvert, so I didn't like school.
What now that you older
was
and you
old.
think about it, what didn't you like about it, though? Because I didn't like school neither, and I can sit back, and there was some things about it I didn't like. I felt in school I didn't fit in, which was one of my biggest issues. I was a little hood like you and whatnot, and I think I was probably a little smarter than what they had me in, so it wasn't keeping my attention as much. That kind of thing. So what was your issue?
I think I was too smart for my own good. I found out around them George Bush years that they had this thing called No Child Left Behind.
Okay.
All I had to do was pass.
So you just had to
grades.
just go, right?
All I had to do was pass gym and art, and no matter what, they would pass me.
Okay.
So I still learned the math. And I learned the stuff, but homework, tests,
Yeah.
projects,
Right. Then
went out the window. It was straight S. All the time. And my mom wasn't paying me no attention at all. No dad in the house.
Correct.
So you can see you got ADD and got absent daddy disorder.
Absent
I got absent daddy disorder.
Talk about ADD, man. What's the symptoms of ADD?
I actually don't know. I think it really is absent daddy disorder. I know that's not what it's called. I know it's hyper.
No, I like the title that you gave it because I
Yeah.
think there's a thing called absent daddy disorder. I think it's
That's what it
some.
is. I just needed a whooping. Honestly, I just needed like a male guidance or that kind of figure. I didn't see nobody around me that I wanted to be like.
Interesting.
I could have played. I'm very athletic. I could have played basketball, but I never knew basketball players made money. I never paid attention to sports like that. So whatever people would have told me was cool is what I would have did when I was younger. If they would have molded me that way, I was never molded. Period.
Wow.
The molding that I was getting was in New Jersey. I left that.
Okay.
Now I'm getting molded by the Cleveland experience.
Wow.
That's what's getting me. That ADD, like a man is so important in the household, it's ridiculous. And I'm not saying that a woman can't all the way do it because there's parts to a degree where they can, but that structure, that man, oh my gosh, that I needed that. I really needed that. That would have changed everything. Having somebody on top of me instead of a woman who's always emotional and checking in and checking out. That.
So you had siblings? Was you brother, sister?
I'm the baby. My biggest brother was in jail. My older sister was like a mom in a way, but I seen her as a sister, even though my other brother, like my oldest brother and my sister, who's the oldest, they cool. You know what I'm saying? That was them. There's a big gap in between us.
Okay.
And then me and my brother are 2 years apart.
Okay.
My oldest sister and my oldest brother, they were 2 years apart. And me and my other brother. For some reason, though, when we got to Shaker, I never really saw him like that.
Really?
Yeah, he was doing his own thing. He was rapping and doing music and stuff. He was doing his own thing. I was breaking the houses.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you do any time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I did 2 weeks in the Deuce. I was in Unit 1A. I did 2 weeks only because, listen, because first of all, that changed my life.
I'm glad it did.
That changed my life. I thank God every day Judge O'Malley sent me to jail. They sent me to jail, and it changed my life for the better.
So you did 2 weeks.
I did a year on house arrest.
Okay.
After 2 weeks, because they gave me the option.
Okay.
They gave me the option to do that because the judge was looking at me, and he was looking at my record, rap sheet thick.
Right.
And then he looking at me. He was like, "The person I'm looking at don't match up to what I'm seeing here. You don't even look like this person. I've sent criminals down the road who look like this, but you don't look like this. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity. You can either go to ODYS for 90 days, get out. You had your felony on your record, but you ain't got to do no probation or nothing. Or you can do a year on house arrest. After that, you had to do 2 years of probation." I'm like, house arrest? Because what I've been going through in here ain't it. Now, at the same time, I'm running with a bad crew. You know what I'm saying? I'm running with the gang members and stuff like that. So while I'm in the Deuce 1A, that's a simple thing. I'm running to a lot of people I know and stuff. But if I go to one of the other units in there, or if I go to OD, I'm not getting out of jail.
Okay.
I'm going to have to fight. I'm going to have to do everything. I have to go do the jail thing.
You got to do another experience.
And I'm not about to run no SNY. I'm not running no PC. I'm going GP the whole way. Already know me. So it's like if I go GP, I'm going to be shanking. I'm going to be fighting. I'm not getting out.
Wow.
So when they offered that, run that. Because I needed that. It was something about going to jail when you wake up and you can't go do what you want to do.
Oh, no, that's serious.
That killed me the most. It wasn't just the shower time. After a while, shower time got funny because I was watching people walk in who was new. And I know when I first heard shower time, I was like, oh, all right, here we go. Shower time, all right. It wasn't bad, though. But then after, when they would say it again, but other people was coming in the unit, it was just funny.
It's just funny watching the new people.
Because now I'm like, they'll have no clue that it's not about to be as bad as they
think it is, right?
You about to go in there and shower. Ain't nobody about to rape nobody. Ain't nobody trying to do nothing. Just shower and go.
Go on and get out of
They
there.
in there just, I learn like I'm learning.
Right.
I ain't coming back. I'm telling you, I'm not coming back.
Hey, what's your problem? You want to fight?
No, I'm just stretching you out, man.
Oh, you
know
like
what I'm saying?
fight?
No, bro. No.
I want you to hold this for me.
What's this, bro?
Here, hold this. This Kool-Aid. We put this on bitches like you. You
What?
wanna be my bitch.
No. Okay, Mike, chill. Take that.
Stick your lips. Now stick your hand in that Kool-Aid.
Why, bro?
Now stick it in there. Now take your finger and just do this to the bottom. Come here. I kiss you. You orange flavor mother. And it ain't
You say that thing about waking up and just can't walk out.
You can't, man. It was like you're asleep and then lights bright. Come on. God. Hands out your meat and in your seat. Everybody. 1, 2, 3. Immediately. You just up, food, nasty. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I trade you for the. I'm like, man, I don't want to be here. I can't just get up as one TV. It got the fat booty on the back of the TV. I don't want to be here.
All right.
I'm running to people, so it's cool stories and stuff going around and running to people on the yards. But still, I don't. I want to be outside. I want to be free where I got opportunities to do things. I always knew, even when I was young, I would say like, when I was about 16 going on 17, which is when I got locked up, I was like, yo, I got to make something happen because when I get 18, I can't keep doing this or I'm going to go to jail for real. And I just so end up getting locked up because I'm used to Shaker just sending me to the holding cell and waiting to my mom or somebody come get me. But this time they drove past the holding cell. I'm like, where we going? He said, you're going to jail with the rest of your belongings. And I'm like, what? No, you're going to downtown this time. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, oh, this about to get serious. I'm in trouble for real now. Man, you get into that building, you gotta get butt naked in front of that man. Sack cough. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So it's messing you up just thinking about it.
I never do this again in my life. I never. Oh my God. Never again. Never again. I see why people fold and go snitch on people. I see why. I never folded. I never snitched on nobody. I got all my paperwork. If anybody ever come out and say you're lying, I never folded, but I see why.
You can see why somebody would do
I
that.
could see why. That right there ain't for nobody. I don't know how people go back. It's too much freedom out here. That changed me. Them 2 weeks
2 weeks.
changed me. I ain't had to fight. I ain't had to do nothing. And the whole time you just hearing, because like I said, I'm on unit 1A. Whole time you hearing, riot on 2B, riot on 3B, fight on 3. You just hearing this throughout the day. And I'm like, that's where I'm about to be.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh. And it was like gladiator school. They just punch you just because.
Wow.
That's what's up. We're going to hit. I'm from in that era. You can walk down the street and they was like, hey, where you from, cuz? You got to run. Like, you got to fight. You got to run. You just got beat up just for being at Zelma George.
And maybe that's why this thing, when I keep talking about neighborhoods, maybe that's why it's so territorial around here, man, because everybody acts that mess, man. And it's like little hoods.
It's not as bad as it used to be.
Right.
As far as territories. Like, a lot of people, because, like, even now I stay on Huff. And I'm not from Huff, but back in the day I would have never, because I couldn't be there. Even being in Shaker, like I said, I used to walk around by myself. Like, I would just mosey off somewhere. One time in particular, I'll mosey off through Scottsdale, which ends up taking me towards Harvard, in which I've never been on. I get up through Harvard, past Invermere. All of a sudden, hey, man, where are you from, cut? You got to fight.
Right.
And you get into a fight, just like that. I never understood that, because I've never fought nobody because they were in the wrong area, or just because they didn't look like it, or what they would say at the time, an off-brand.
I guess I was lucky because we grew up, the whole neighborhood was our playground. You know what I mean? And it started happening, though, as I got older, because I was product of the 80s, 90s. So all that cracking
That wasn't
up.
territorial? That was the crack era.
No, it was starting to. That's what I was getting at. When I was a kid, though, I was in the 80s. So back in the 80s, that's when we had the whole kid and caboodle. You can go play anywhere. I can go down on St. Clair. I can go on Superior. I can go anywhere. But then, like you said, when I started getting into junior high school, which is taking me later 80s, going into the 90s, yeah. It started that's when all those gangs started popping up, DDs, MOs, and St. Clair gangsters and all these crazy. And that's when that started, like you say, hey, cuz, where you from?
Where you from?
Hey, man, I'm from Glenville. Now, what part? Now it started breaking down from the community down to the streets.
Not all of
Really?
y'all liked each other.
Yeah. So we didn't bring you on to get you down on that because you're a good person to talk to. I like what you're doing. I follow everything, and I got into this podcast thing and started to talk to interesting people, and I was following you online and just looking at some of the stuff you're doing. And now you're getting into comedy, man. You're doing comedy. Tell me a little bit about what made you. Oh, I guess all of this is funny when you think about it.
Like I said, I was an introvert. And I still am an introvert.
Okay.
I'm like a lone wolf. I'm always alone for the most part. However, I started to be the person who I was in my head out loud.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
I would always just sit back and like the things I would think, it would just make me laugh. Now I just say those things.
Okay.
Just even some of the things that the guys just talk about. I just talk. I'm the person who I was in my head out loud. I'm just manifested person. I've usually tucked this person just because I ain't want nobody to think I'm doing too much. Always afraid of what somebody else think. Man, I got out of that. Now I'm more happy because I don't feel like I'm like hiding myself from people. And it just so happened that I end up happening to be funny.
Oh, that's the best part.
I thought I was being rude. It turns out that I'm funny and people like it, and I just ran with it.
So how long you been doing it now? You've been funny all your life. You just didn't do it. So how long have you said, I'm going to professionally seek out to be doing this career?
2018.
2018. Okay. So you've been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
Like I started filming in 2007, just like recording people and stuff like that. And I had a whole video run and a blog run and stuff. But I didn't start putting myself in front of the camera and seriously until 2017. I had my first, 2018. I had my first big viral video in 2017.
Interesting.
So after I dropped my first video, it was my first video.
What was it?
It was a parody video about how rappers and stuff, because it was like these They make the boy versions of girl clothes for some reason. So they had the guy rompers. So I made a parody about thugs wearing those. And it just went super viral. It did 30 million views.
Really?
And this was my first time getting out my own way.
Really?
This is my first time.
That's huge accomplishment.
Yeah,
man.
and it was scary.
Wow.
It was so scary just to see that, because it was the first time where I was just like, people were telling me, no, don't do that, don't do that. I said, no, look, you record this, you hold this camera, I'm doing it. I don't care what nobody said. And it did that. And
Wow.
I said, oh my gosh. And I took a complete year off. Because I was like, oh my gosh, if this is what stepping out my own way does, then let me get serious with it.
Okay.
Hey, Snack.
Flies in this motherfucker. Whole bunch of fruit flies in this motherfucker. Damn, like where y'all come from, man? This is so many. All these fruit flies in here, man, this shit getting old. They crawling out the drain and they hanging by the stove. Why is all these fruit flies in this motherfucker? I threw out everything. Like I gotta go shopping. Damn. I bring out the swatter just to go to the kitchen. They all by the trash and they hanging by the dishes. I threw out all the fruit, man. What am I missing? I even got the sticky traps hanging from the ceiling. Where'd y'all come from? I put the vinegar in the cup, but they ain't want none. I'm spraying each and every way, but I ain't hit none. I'm in the kitchen slap boxing trying to hit one. Damn. All these damn flies, I don't know what to do. They all in the freezer and they dying by the food. My company quick to leave cause my fruit flies so rude. Pack my bags, I'm finna move. Why is all these fruit flies in this motherfucker?
If y'all gon' stick around, y'all gon' have to pay some bills. Fuck all that.
Whole bunch of fruit flies in this motherfucker.
Man, I can't even cook in the kitchen. Like, what's going on? Move, bro.
All these fruit flies in here, man, this shit getting old. They crawling out the drain and they hanging by the stove. Why is all these fruit flies in this motherfucker?
Motherfuckers is rude, but bro, switch it up. What else you got?
Why is all these black ants in this motherfucker?
Woo! Man, them motherfuckers worse than roaches sometimes. Let's go.
Why is all these black ants in this motherfucker?
Man, smash that thing. Where's they coming from?
Man, these black ants come through, they like goons that's on trash. They crawl on my skin and they crunch when they smash. Why is all these black ants in this motherfucker?
Man, spray something on the counter, bro. They just here for no reason.
Does Here Come 2018. Now I'm dropping. Here come the viral videos. Here it come. And I'm going on the road and I'm just doing sketch comedy. I haven't tried stand up yet.
Okay.
When I finally did try to stand up, I got booed.
Now, where was you at when you did your first stand up?
I did my first stand up in DC.
Ooh, okay.
And that wasn't the worst booing. The worst booing I got was in Dallas.
All right, hold on. We're going to talk about some booze then. All right, so let's go with the DC boy. What happened?
I can't do stand up in Cleveland.
No, why not?
Because there's not a lot of places I can go to practice. Now, a lot of people think, no, you can go to the funny spot. You can go to this place and that place. No, you can go. You have every bit of 1,000, maybe 2,000 followers in the city. If I go there and people come out to see me, I can't just be practicing. They coming to see a show. They coming to see me. If Dave Chappelle was at the Improv tonight, he better not be practicing. He can't do that. He got to pop in places in the middle of Iowa and just be a surprise. Yeah, next comment to the stage just so happens to be Bill Burr. There it is. And now he gets to be able to practice his stuff. I can't do that in Cleveland. So I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to D.C.
Okay.
Try it out there.
Some new material.
Yeah, and I just was like, I just went out there and I just did it. And it just wasn't good.
From the beginning to the end.
From the beginning to the end.
Ooh.
I just nervous. I have never wrote any material.
So this is your very first time?
Yeah, I just got there and just talking. And this wasn't per se it was like a boo.
Really?
He said, get that yank off the stage.
Really?
I'm like, oh. And I said, thanks for not calling me a nigga. That's my time, y'all. I got smooth smooth up out of there.
So who was in that in both of them? Was anybody big opening in front of you? Doing your thing?
Yeah, it was just quiet places where I can go
and just try to get
and just try to feel it out. And then I have good shows, and then sometimes it'd be bad.
So let's talk about the ones that. What did you take from the Texas show?
Learn the audience, which I should have really learned beforehand. But I should have learned at the grog shop opening for Devin and Dude when they wanted to boo me then.
Devin the Dude.
Yeah.
Now that was a hard audience. Now you know you going in there with these rappers and the MCs. That's a hard crowd.
Man,
Devin the Dude.
I just took it. It was offered. I said, okay. I take every show. I also I fight. I box. I do MMA.
Right.
At this point, I take any fight. You could be the Goliath. That don't mean fight him. This is Devin the Dude's crowd.
Right.
I'm in here with comedy parody music. It was cool in some places, but these are grown men with big baggy clothes on in the 2000s still.
Yeah.
They not trying to hear none of that you saying.
No.
They didn't boo me, but they wanted to. Real bad. And then I got this song that I did. It was a parody from my type, but it was called Big White Girl. And I was like, I need a big white in my life. Yeah, that's my type.
Right.
White girl, buy me new things on site. You got a new car, I'm gonna push it all night. So in this song, it's just about people, black dudes, who get out of jail or are in down bad, and they go get a big white girl, and they financially get on their feet and then leave. That's what the whole song is about. Man, I had no clue how many Devin the Dude fans was in there. I started to pull the song. I should have pulled it right there. I should have pulled it when I surveyed the crowd. I didn't know that, but when I started doing it, I was like, oh
man.
And I started watching the faces turn. Like, you know, trying to get me kicked down.
He can't laugh. He can't do nothing.
I'm like, how's she better than a black girl? I'll tell you real quick. She don't give me no lip when I don't contribute to shit. Like, that's the part of the lyric. They like, and then the DJ gonna drop the beat on the back of that part.
Wow.
You don't give me no lip when I contribute for shit. They like, oh my gosh, they should have booed me. Ooh. They should have chased me out there with pitchforks. I have never got so many death threats in my DM.
Wow.
From that video in particular.
From that video.
You got me kicked out my house.
Really?
Nigga, you just messed up the whole thing. You giving out game. Doing this shit, nigga. I got one. If you ever come to Little Rock, Arkansas, I'm a
really?
Like, he said it. And this deal, I was just like, man, I can't go to Little Rock. And it was crazy. He was a big bald dude. He had a weight in his hand in his profile picture. I can't make this up. He had a weight in his hand in the profile picture with a dashiki on. He was like,
Get plugged in. Hey, Snap.
Damn, Mingo Studio.
I need a big white bitch in my life. In my life, yeah, that's my type. White girl buy me new things on site. She got a new car, I'ma push it all night. I need a big white bitch in my life. I let her use the N-word when we fight. Mixed kids, cute babies, that's alright. Kids like Steph Curry, that's alright. Let me let y'all niggas know the deal. I got a big white bitch that'll pay my bills. I fuck her like a felon cause I'm fresh out of jail. Anytime I'm in trouble, she'll up that bill. I got a new 2K and a new Mac. She roll the woods and her food is smacking.
She's better than a black girl.
I tell you real quick, she don't give me no lip when I don't contribute for shit. I call her my queen just to make it for special. Once she pay for things, it's Wakanda forever. I got a brand new fit, brand new J's. Black girls mad, but they don't be trying to pay. I need a big white bitch in my life. In my life, yeah, that's my type. White girl buy me new things on site. She got a new car, I'ma push it all night. I need a big white bitch in my life. I let her use the N-word when we fight. Mixed kids, cute babies, that's alright. Kids like Steph Curry, that's alright.
We are not responsible for the realness in this track. Damn, Mingo.
Tell me one of your best experiences.
best experience.
One where you rocked and you came out was like, yes.
Okay, best experience was here in Cleveland when I did Virgo Jam.
Okay.
Virgo Jam, I made so much. Nobody in the city would book me or pay me to get booked. The best they will offer is you can sell some tickets, which is cool. That's not a bad offer. That's an offer I probably would even take today. But at that point in time, even within what they was allowing with to sell tickets, it still wouldn't allow me to make more than probably $300-400. So since nobody would book me, I said, forget it. I'm just gonna book myself. I'm a Virgo. I was born on September 21st, 1991. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get all my other Virgo artists together, and I'm gonna throw a concert. I'm not gonna throw a party. I'm gonna throw this in concert format because I've been going around the country doing concerts. But when I say that place was at capacity, I was so happy because we sold over the amount of tickets and still had a door.
Okay.
crazy. But man, it was so much love. God, like that was one of those moments where it was like, and just hearing the crowd word for word
Oh, knowing your stuff and know true fans, knowing
amazing.
That's amazing for you.
And even though I've won awards in Milwaukee, I've won awards in Philadelphia for comedy and stuff like that. But that at home,
let's talk about
love that.
Being at home. I done had a few music artists come on and they talk about how hard it is in the music industry here in Cleveland. So I would imagine, how is it hard being a comedian and trying to break through here in Cleveland?
If you hear anybody in the entertainment field say that it's hard here in Cleveland, it's because their content is bad or they don't market themselves.
Interesting.
Cleveland is a real big monkey see, monkey do city. But not even just Cleveland. Black people in a whole don't believe in nothing until they see it, which is just what it is. For some people, it'd be like, bro, you supposed to be here with me when I was struggling. It almost goes against your common sense. Why would I be here when I already see what's happening here? You're going to go to the big city versus the land with nothing. You just talk about what you gonna do. Everybody tell you what you gonna do. So yours feel like, a lot of them feel like it's hard in Cleveland because people don't believe in them. Well, you barely believe in yourself. If you believed in yourself, you would put up every dollar into your brand and get it out there for them to start getting views and numbers, for the people to start liking you. If you're not going to do that, then yeah, it's hard. It's not going to just be hard in Cleveland. It's going to be hard everywhere because you're not serious and you're not making no sacrifices.
You know, that's an interesting point that you brought in, and I'm glad that you said that, because I'm a firm believer in that too. And I thought it was interesting because to that point, things are a little bit easier, that you can get your content out on your own.
The whole industry shifted to make it possible for a one-man band. Now they get so wore out, artists get so wore out because, now you got to do all your royalties. You got to sign all your contracts. You got to read all that. You got to go out and book your own photo shoots, do your own graphics, do your own. You got to do most of that stuff now yourself. And as you know what they say about most, is lazy.
Right.
If you think you about to come off a night of smoking weed all night, drinking all night, and think you about to sit up here and do all the back-end business to your music career, nah, they're not.
That ain't gonna happen.
They're not. And they're gonna come here and sit in front of you talking about how it's hard. No, your priorities are just messed up. You're just lazy. Let's just be real. It doesn't even gotta be bad content, because it's people with bad content doing better than you. So it's not nobody else's fault outside of your own. If you think people don't like you, don't tell me people don't like you if you ain't spent $30,000 on your marketing. I don't want to hear it.
Damn.
I don't want to hear about how people don't like you. You ain't even put $30,000 worth of marketing in front of people's face. I don't want to hear it.
No, and it takes that.
And it takes that.
Yeah.
You will spend that. Guaranteed. Like, y'all had whole PPP loans and still didn't. Come on, man.
Right.
You didn't spend right. If you want to make it out of anywhere, you're going to have to market. Very simple. Whether you're doing a podcast, whether you're doing comedy, it ain't rough nowhere when they know you. They don't know you. They not coming to see you. And when they do see you, they probably iffy on you. 'Cause they don't know you. As everybody are iffy with things they don't know. That's human nature.
So with that, and you've been touring and getting around and meeting a lot of people, and I know you getting lots of views and everybody's watching some of your stuff. What makes you stay here?
I live in Cleveland because it's affordable. It's the center ground to the whole, like, where the money is. We are where the money is. We're in a consumer market. You go out to LA or New York or Atlanta or Houston to get deals and stuff like that. That's what those guys are. But when those guys want to come make some money, who are they marketing to? People in the Midwest, in this market. If you look at an 8-hour radius of Los Angeles, what do you have? You can get to
Vegas, but that's like
you can start scraping
hills and dirt, deserts, and like you say, that kind of stuff, right?
If you go 8 hours to Cleveland, what do you have?
Chicago.
You got Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Louisville, Kentucky. You can go to Charlotte, New York, Boston. You look how many, and these are all different people. The culture changes every 3 hours.
That's interesting.
It changes from Cleveland to Columbus to Cincinnati. Is 2 different people. Those is 3 different people. And as you keep going, this is the only place in the U.S. where you can travel within an 8 to 10 hour radius and touch so many different people.
Interesting.
So if you here with a Toyota Corolla, fill up your tank with $35, getting 600 miles to the gallon.
You can go to Chicago.
You can go to Chicago and network.
Yes, you can.
You can go You can go to DC,
Right.
which is 5 hours away,
Yes,
and
you can.
come right back tonight
Yes, you can.
to your place, to your
Yes, you
house
can.
here, where your rent
Yeah.
is probably $500-600.
Yeah, you-
My tour car
Yeah.
is a Toyota Yaris. I drive here. I go to Pittsburgh, do a little stuff, and I go to New York, and that's a tank. And then I still come back and then fill up somewhere in the Poconos. When I first got that car, they was like, "What you got that white soccer mom car for and stuff?" That's why.
Oh, it gets good mileage.
It gets good mileage and it's easy to fix.
You said you're an MMA fighter. I ain't gonna let that slide past me, man. I heard you say that. You fight MMA?
So shout out to Northern Wind on Superior. On 86 in Superior, Grandmaster Greg Mayo, who is my uncle.
No, Greg.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Greg Mayo, that is my uncle. I do come from a martial arts family.
Okay, yeah, he's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, he's been doing it a long time.
He does the security work for the Glenville Festival and places like that. And what was funny about him is that they'll hire him and nobody knew that he was there to do security. They used to just be like, who the crown fu guy who used to walk around with the hat on? He just be, but nobody messed with him. They'd be like, don't mess with him. But he was there actually doing security, man, for years, and nobody never even knew that.
Yeah, I never understood. I'm like, yo, he doesn't look the least bit intimidating. How are they like doing that? But he knows stuff.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flippy.
Yeah.
It was just Easter. I was just messing with him. And I'm thinking I was sneaking up on him. I'm like, he quick. He quick
Wow.
with it.
Wow.
So yeah, I come from a martial arts family. And I train. I do MMA. I do boxing.
Okay.
Stuff like that. I used to do a lot of underground fights and stuff in MMA. But now that steroids is so big, got up out of that.
You're not fighting no more in MMA.
No, I'll do some boxing matches and stuff like that. At some point where we see what Jake Paul and them and what they're doing,
Yeah.
I definitely want to venture into like the celebrity boxing and stuff like that. I don't want to go against Jermaine Harlow.
Yeah,
or,
some of those guys, man, they serious,
No,
man.
I don't wanna do that.
Oh, that's
I do it. I
fights.
want to.
Now, some of those fights is like your experience of when you went to jail.
Yeah,
Get in
it's
there and
like-
do that. Like, I ain't never going.
that.
Hey, let nobody beat up on me like that again.
I'll
Right.
fight anybody.
And I can't pick up a chair or nothing. This guy just beat the hell out of me over in this corner. Saying.
And every Saturday, I'll go to Aries Combat in Macedonia. They have an open gym and it's open spars free from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I'll go there and train. There's UFC guys there.
Wow.
There's Bellator guys there. There's PFL guys there. People who's pros who go in there. And I go in there and spar with them. And you know what I'm saying? And they whoop my... But it's part of it,
Yeah.
you know? I'll fight anybody. But I don't want to fight Canelo. I don't. Like, I'll do it, but I don't want to.
A friend of mine named Pablo
Castro.
Pablo.
I don't know why.
He's down. He has a gym down there in Rock, off in Valley View, and he was the trainer for that guy who was the firefighter. What was his name? Yeah,
Yeah, you're talking about Strong Style.
Strong Style. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's
Yeah,
good
a lot
dude.
of fighters is good people.
Yeah, and Pablo, his trainer. I know the trainer. I ain't never met Stipe, but Pablo, he's a really good dude.
Oh, Steve is a good dude too.
Yeah. Steve, we live in Cleveland Heights, and Stipe is a firefighter, and I used to just see him out doing firefighter things and be like, and you probably be like, God, that's a big dude. Look at that big old firefighter. And then when they said he was there, I said, no wonder, that's the dude. But yeah, he was
UFC heavyweight
huge.
champion.
Oh yeah, he was
Big
huge.
dude, really big dude. I would love to spar him one day. Go ahead. Yeah, it sounds crazy. Like I said, I would fight anybody. But notice I didn't say fight. I said spar.
Right.
That's when he gonna pull some of the punches.
We got to
a
pull
little
some of the punches. You say celebrity spar.
That's me.
Yeah.
I got to be on set. I do a lot of movies now. I don't want no.
You don't know.
You black my eye. It's a wrap.
Hey man, so listen, I want to thank you for coming on my program. You did an excellent job, man. I got a lot of information from you, and want you to come back and use our platform for something, man. If you ever just want to talk, you got something on your mind you want to speak about, if you got something that you're doing and you want to send something short, man, always, man.
Media is so important.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand, like, media, even though we was going back and forth in the emails forever on this. I'm like, bro, just call me.
Right.
I'm going to use this most times you got to call me. I'm like, she insists on doing the email.
That's Kennedy. I'm with you on that, because I'll be like, Kennedy, I want you to get in touch with someone. They be done. I said, call them. Just pick up the phone, call them. Yeah, and just talk to them. But that's how they do. They like doing that, man.
Yeah, I don't get, like, texting to get you in trouble. Like, it leaves too much evidence, one. Like, for real. Like, I got a couple of cases going, and it's just, you text so much.
Right.
How can you not go to jail? You cost yourself because you text
everything, right?
I get mad. I be like, oh, I'm gonna call this. Like, they be like, oh, let me text you. I'm gonna kill you, and then be wondering why they found you guilty.
Exactly.
They text too much.
Exactly.
But like I was saying, media is very important.
Yes.
Just for you even having this platform available is very important, and artists really have to learn how to navigate and use media.
That's correct.
So I think one thing that we was talking on before we got out of here, one thing we was talking on when you were, before the air came on, sometimes people can get in front of these cameras and they just very boring and stuff like that, or they're just not telling enough. They don't want to speak on subjects. Stop. This is the entertainment industry.
That's correct.
Once that camera red, is this camera recording me? Second they do that, bruh, it's time to work, bruh.
Is it?
It's time to put on your personality. It's time to bring it out. There's a lot of people who come to me and they be like, man, I'm going to all these auditions, but I just can't never get a role. Understand that when you are auditioning in front of those people, you're entertaining them.
That's correct.
They're looking to be entertained at every moment. We ain't doing this for nothing. We trying to get our money back. We trying to create a wealthy life for ourselves. We trying to have something passed down to our kids. On top of that, we try not to waste our time. And the entertainment is what fuels this. Without the stars, without the entertainment, without the personalities, this is nothing. When you get on these platforms, y'all, make sure you guys are doing it up. Say everything. Get it all off your chest. Talk back and forth. Make sure y'all have engaging conversations. This is so important because we need this platform to stick around.
Excellent.
Because if he go away, that's one less outlet.
Excellent.
And it's already hard. It's already hard out here.
Excellent.
100%.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you, man. So like we close on all our programs, we give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say. Let people know how they can reach out to you and how they can get in touch with you, where you're going to be performing at, as well as anything you got on your chest. So that camera belongs to you, my brother. Say what you want to say.
All right. If you don't know now, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. I'm Heybert Flex, Mr. Pullout Game A1, Mr. Low Meat Pop. You already know. I am that guy. We gonna have fun. Come around with me. Come join on this journey. It's gonna be amazing. We gonna turn this up. It's gonna be highs. It's gonna be lows. But you know what? We live in. And one thing I want to get off my chest, because we was talking about that touch of Italy, and this is something I did not know. Okay, when y'all messing with some of these cougars and stuff who got their tubes tied and stuff, they don't always be tied, bro. I just found out that sometimes they be clamped, and the clamp can come undone. Even me, like I tell y'all, like my pullout game immaculate, but still at the same time, I still like having a tubes tied around. And when you have one of the ones from the tubes tied community, you know what I'm saying, you get to let the whole thing go in there. But make sure that you ask, is you clamped or are you tied or are you snipped? I never knew to ask this because shorty can still get knocked up, cuz. She can still get knocked up. So when you at the touch of Italy, hunting for them cougars, just like I was, be sure to make sure when you come across one of them tubes tied, ask, is it clamped or is it snipped? Because I need to evaluate the risk here, because you could end up with one of them cougars listening to Al Green, you and that baby listening to the Deal 2 occasions for the rest of your life. Okay? So don't be that. Don't be that guy. Make sure you ask the questions and ask all the necessary questions. I'm Heybert Flex. Like I said, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for the great time. HeybertFlex.com. Everything is on there. If you want to see what kind of shows or anything coming up, just look up HeybertFlex.com. Everything is on there. It's never going away. They might kick me off of IG. They might kick me off of TikTok. They might kick me off of Facebook. But one thing they not getting rid of is my .com. HeybertFlex.com. It will always be there. Everything is going to be there. And like I said, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time.
Hey, everybody, that's Mr. Heybert Flex. Make sure you check him out. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all at the next show. Peace.